Hello everybody. We're going to go through how to solve and talk about how to solve the slope-intercept form 1. So if you're doing this problem in Desmos and you're having some struggles, you might be watching this video to help you out. So what we need to do is we need to find the slope, the y-intercept, and then write the rule for each representation shown at the right in slope-intercept form. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this XY table, and we have to interpret this information in order to ultimately come up with a rule. And if you're thinking, why do I have to come up with the slope and the y-intercept? Why can't I just write the rule down? Well, here's the thing. If you know the slope, if you know the y-intercept, you can write the equation. So let's look at this. If we look, we notice that this goes by 1 each time. And you gotta notice that because it's important. I'll explain why in a little bit. So this goes up by 1 each time. When I look at the bottom here, remember, the figure number has always been our x. The number of tiles has always been our y. So if I look down here, what's 3 and then it goes to 7 is 4. Now I want to look at a couple of these because I want to make sure it's linear. And it should because we're having you write any linear equation out of it. So you notice it goes up by 4 each time. Now why did we have to find out that it goes by 1 each time? Well, technically, when you look at something like this, you have to look at the rise over the run. So 4 divided by 1 is 4. So it is indeed 4. But you have to watch. Sometimes these will go by 2s. And then this would be a 2. So it doesn't happen a lot. At least it won't happen a lot for you here. But by the end of the year, we're going to start introducing these where they're not necessarily always going by 1s. So let's look at this. I'm going to choose a different color here. So this right here, where it's going up by 4, that is going to be my, what do you think, slope or my y-intercept? Slope, right? No. Yep, you're right. It is slope. So what do you think the y-intercept? Is the y-intercept 4? What's going on here? How do we find that? You haven't talked about that yet, Mr. Rattoon. Well, let's look right here. See where you have figure 0? So if my x, if I looked at a graph, we know that this is my x and this is my y. So if this is 0, I know that 4 or 3 is going to be somewhere up here. So this right here is my y-intercept. So now I know this is going to be 3. And once I know these, I have to make sure I write my rule. I've got to put the y equal. Sometimes you guys forget, but we need to know what the equation, well, it's an equation, so it's got to have an equal sign. So what's next? It's y equals mx plus b. M is going to be your slope, so it's going to be 4x and then plus 3. So that is my rule. Again, if you have any questions about this, make sure you ask your teacher.